All right, Wayne Bettis here, the founder of the Off the Tools podcast. I just want to introduce you to our brand new sponsor, directplumbing.supplies.com. It is founded by a former tradesman who has set up his own plumbing and heating merchants. He has an online shop, which is obviously at directplumbing.supplies.com, and he delivers across the UK. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depends when you're listening. Welcome to the very belated next episode of the Off the Tools podcast. Wow, it's been a while. To be honest, this episode is to basically explain what's happened over the last few months, and basically, most importantly, grab out the lessons from it, because it's not just for myself, but obviously the whole world has changed. But there's been some things that's happened to me personally that threw me off track, and there's some very good lessons to learn. So I just wanted to basically share it. I've been meaning to get this done, but as you'll hear, if you stick with the episode, you'll hear what's gone on. So obviously, back in March, the world was getting hit with corona, and basically I could sense that we were heading to lockdown, as did many people. So I thought I would pack my family up and get down to Cornwall for a month or so. So I had all good intentions before I left. I made a good plan how I was going to work. I took all my working equipment and my studio equipment that I needed, so I could still do my day-to-day business and obviously all of the other things I'm involved with. So we packed up and shot down to Cornwall, which was amazing. This location was just phenomenal. It was an isolated house, literally in the middle of nowhere. So peaceful, big garden, acres of fields all around you, river down the bottom, and just sublime. But things quickly went sideways. As many of you will know, I've got 4 children and a beautiful wife. And like before we left, I sort of said, look, we're going to go down here. Obviously, we still need to work and do bits and whatever. So we sort of put a rough plan into action. But wow, here's lesson number 1. The new appreciation I have for what my wife does day to day is just phenomenal. So obviously I've had 4 children, we have summer holidays and all of that sort of stuff, but during the first couple of weeks, it just threw me, literally just the intensity of trying to teach the children, of trying to work, and obviously with all the pressures of corona that was going around, it was just a very emotionally sort of charged environment. So yeah, the first couple of weeks just did not go to plan. It was like I tried to do something, and one of the kids would need something, and then we'd need to go and get bits and whatever, and just problem after problem. And I'm not a big drinker, but things were getting boring, so I started drinking a little bit of drink, and stupidly started smoking again as well. And this was over the first couple of weeks. You just sort of like everyone was adjusting to the new normal and things, and anyway, then we got some very bad news that my granddad was severely ill, and so after 3 weeks we decided I wanted to come home and see my granddad before he passed away, which thankfully I did manage to get home in time. Just got back, I think it was about 16 hours before he sadly passed. So then that obviously threw another problem into the mix, that I had obviously the emotional challenge of not being able to be there for my dad. Obviously my granddad passed, so it was my dad's dad. It was just a very surreal and challenging, very, very challenging. And obviously on top of that, I had my children at home, my wife, they were all upset, and we couldn't really, I'm not I'm not that sentimental sort of bloke, but it hit me harder than what I was expecting. So I decided, right, I'm just going to slow down, relax for a few weeks. You know, business was ticking over. I didn't need to really worry about money. And and then obviously I was still smoking stupidly, and still drinking a little bit here and there. When I say drinking, I won't like getting pissed every night, but drinking is something that I've never really, apart from family barbecues and things like that, it's just never really done it. Obviously gyms and things like that weren't open. So the lesson from that initial first few weeks was how quickly we as humans can adapt to a new routine, whether it's good or bad. And in this case, it was a very bad routine of cracking open a bottle of Prosecco, having a few fags, you know, eating crap. And before I knew it, I was getting fat again. I was lazy. I wasn't doing any of my training. And really the biggest lesson from it is that that just proves that you can adapt very, very quickly. So you can adapt in a bad way and you can adapt in a good way. And I certainly over lockdown, or the beginning part of lockdown, really sort of adapted to the bad sides, the bad traits in my personality. And sorry if I'm out of breath, I'm on a power walk this morning. So I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure many of you guys and girls out there are maybe falling down certain rabbit holes that you have avoided for a long time, but these extreme conditions have maybe pushed yourself back down there. So the good thing about me is I have a very good structure with managing myself, because I'm very ups and downs. I have tremendous highs where I'm super efficient, like I'm just smashing everything, anything I touch works, and you know, money's flowing and everything's going well. And then I have these tremendous lows where I basically just become lazy, obnoxious, no motivation. And anyway, over the years I set myself very regular sort of interventions where I sort of talk to myself in my head and work out, right, what's going wrong, and let's refocus. So when I do hit one of these down points, I don't let it drag on for weeks and months. I nip it in the bud and refocus and get myself back. And that's what I have done the last few weeks. I've been very quiet on social media because I've been working on a business venture for my main business, which is basically launched this weekend with a partner up in Derby, which is amazing. But the importance of self-evaluation regularly is so important, because before you know it, it could be 6 months, it could be a year that you've sort of gone off the tracks. And if that's the case, you're just getting so far behind, it's unbelievable. So the first thing you need to do is set yourself month or quarterly times you only need 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to refocus and make sure the bad habits aren't outweighing the good habits, because we're human. We're all gonna eat crap, maybe drink too much, maybe do things that we shouldn't do, but like with anything, it's moderation is the key. So if you can pick it up early that you are doing these things, then you can manage it. And most importantly, that comes down to tracking things. So I have like lots of different softwares that I use that help me on this. So from a business perspective, which is vitally important to track as much as you can, because if you can track it, you can improve it, you can manage it. And you need to be doing it in your personal life too, because that's, if not so, it's more important, because if you and your personal life aren't in the straight and narrow, then everything else around you isn't going to be going as well as it should be. So that basically, it gives a little bit of an explanation as to why you've maybe not heard from me so much. Just multiple bad habits that compounded on each other, and as I've already said, the lesson there is that if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. If it can compound that quickly in a negative, it just proves it can compound just as quickly in a positive. So make sure that if you have had the last few months and things haven't been as good as you were hoping, use today, find 20-30 minutes of your day to focus, readjust, set yourself some small targets that you can hit over the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks, so you can then be first-hand experience of how quickly you can go from where you are now to where you want to be. So make sure you do that. And the best way to keep on top of that is to share things. So I was lucky enough to meet a gentleman who very, very similar to me. We actually only lived 15 minutes away, but he reached out online, and over the last sort of 5-6 months, I guess, we've sort of become friends online. Where we've only met up once, but we've now arranged to have a monthly meeting between us where we just meet up, we go through what we've achieved that month, celebrate them successes, share what we've not achieved, and strategize as to why and how we can make sure that we achieve it on the next time. So so reach out to me, reach out to someone else. It doesn't matter who it is. Just get that support network around you where you can share things and basically help you. So if you share it, you're more likely to do it because you've then got some accountability to it. That's it, guys. I will be getting back to regular episodes with guests and everything over the next few weeks. So watch out for the next episode. Thank you.
I really hope you enjoyed the show. I just wanted to pull it out there for anyone listening that I offer business coaching, but also life coaching. My life is centered around something called the 3 Bs, which stands for body, business, and balance. When you work with me as a coach, we tackle all 3 aspects of life. So you as an individual, body, mindset, health, fitness, knowledge, education. Business B obviously stands for your business, improving, maximizing opportunities, elevating, making more money. And balance stands for your friends, family, loved ones, making time for everything in your life. And the 3 Bs is the core element to that. If you'd like to learn more, I would ask you to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you might be consuming my information. Or you can email me directly at wayne@offthetools.co.uk. I'm here waiting to assist you to elevate across all aspects of life. Have a good one. No excuses. Let's go.